This Too Shall Pass from OK Go just started to be going viral. We had a couple of million hits. We thought, a machine like that could be really compelling in surround. And we had a program for a new PC technology that we're showcasing that we really thought this would be a great fit for.
We were thrilled when Dolby called and suggested doing a 5.1 mix of This Too Shall Pass. We had thought about mixing our record in 5.1 because Dave Fridman, with whom we made the record, has a lot of experience mixing 5.1, and we've heard some records he's done and they're really exciting. We had to decide whether or not we could afford to do that really well or do that kind of halfway and do the stereo mix halfway. So
we called up Dave Fridman, who is a really great producer, and I said, okay, let's just talk about prepping these files so that I can mix them in Pro Tools. And he said, well, it's a Pro Tools session, but to tell you the truth, every single piece is mixed through some kind of vintage analog gear. So my heart sort of sank because I knew that if he was going to have to do this and pre-prep every single file, it would take forever. So because I was on such a tight time frame, I said, okay, well, I'll just fly to Buffalo, head out to your studio, and you and I can do it together.
They did the video version, which I think is great because it has all the sound effects of the room. We had mixed into the video version. It's the recording from the album, but it's also got like the piano falling and a bunch of the sound effects of things happening in the room. And it really gives you a sense of being in that space.
One of the biggest challenges was not only building the machine, but also building a machine that was synchronized to the music. Because we wanted to build a machine that sort of danced with physics. And I think the hardest part was just, not only did you have to build this machine that was really only supposed to barely work, but then it also had to dance with the song.
We had the song broken down into 6-second chunks by the end, and so each 6 seconds was marked out and ready to go. But if anything was off, if you start compounding errors in there, like by the time you get to the end of 3.5 minutes, it like almost everything has to have been.
One of the aspects of this thing that was really challenging is the fact that they worked in stereo. The first time, they didn't really have to record Foley for all of those elements that were in the video, and if you think about it, they had source music playing pretty much for every take when they were practicing this thing and trying to get the right shot. So there was no clean audio of anything.
There's so many different ways to use 5.1 that you can't use stereo. And inversely, there's a way you kind of lose focus in 5.1 sometimes. And what I love about this mix is that it keeps the music feeling focused and lets the sort of space do the talking. It's really nice.
The thing that I love about it is that instead of having to pigeonhole every sound into a very small frequency band to fit into the stereo field, especially a super thick song like This Too Shall Pass, you're able to use less EQ, give things a little bit more of their own life, and by just being able to plop it into another speaker and do something cool with it, it takes some of the pressure out of pigeonholing it into being in either the left channel or the right channel, and you give it its own life.
There is something about a song when it moves from being sort of inside your head in that very stereo way where things are right here to the video space, which is much more in front of you, and I think 5.1 mixes really make a lot more sense for that.